Please. Okay, while we are doing that, let me see if also if Obaze is here. Okay, please, you may take a moment or two and say one or two things, His Excellency Henry Obaze as well, and quickly, if you may, before we bring in His Excellency Peter Obi to speak to us.
Thank you, Mazi. Good evening, all. Apologies for the late start, and then also apologies for these glitches. I think this is His Excellency's prerogative. He's always been open to conversation. There had been quite a number of demands for him to interact with the supporters, and we thought this would be an appropriate moment in the campaign period for him to respond to some of the questions and also to reassure the supporters globally and those in Nigeria, and especially those in the diaspora, that he values their support. He does not take it for granted. But I'm not going to speak. I think it's best to hear from His Excellency, but just to reassure everybody that once we get through this temporary glitch, he would speak to the teeming population that belong to the family of the obedience. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we have probably a network issue here. You know, if you don't mind, let's quickly try and bring him back. Hold on. You know, it appears that there were some, like as I thought, there were some glitches, and but the good news is that His Excellency is now back with us. I think we may have to reiterate again the, you know, if we don't mind, His Excellency Obaze, if you may wish once more to reintroduce and reaffirm the reason why we've all gathered here before His Excellency takes over and addresses us, please. Thank you very much. No, pardon for that.
Thank you, Mazi. Once again, good evening, everyone, those in Nigeria and those in the diaspora. Like I said earlier, Mr. Peter Obi, who's the presidential candidate for Labour, places high value on the support he gets from the support groups, especially those in Nigeria and those in the diaspora. And he's always been open to speak to them. There's been a lot of demand for him to interact with these support groups, and there have been quite a few developments recently that compelled the decision to hold this meeting this evening, so that he could speak to the people, listen to them, and answer any questions that they might have. And that's just a simple family conversation, a friendly conversation between the family of the obedience. So again, despite the glitches, we welcome everybody, and I'm very eager to also hear His Excellency speak. Thank you.
Thank you once more for that clarification, and that is very well noted. Now, His Excellency, if you may now, you may wish now to unmute. Okay. So yes, okay. You may now turn on your video. You are, you know, obviously the floor is yours, sir. Nice having you around us.
He kept saying the video is stopped by the. I'm trying to. He kept saying the video is stopped by the host. Can you? Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, but the video is not working.
It's you've been made the co-host, sir.
Video because the host has stopped it.
You've been made a co-host, sir. You can now go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm trying to turn off the video, but it keeps.
Okay, sir. You can try once more now. Okay.
Well,
We're good. Thank you very much.
It's still not.
We can see.
You can hear me.
We can see you now, sir. We can see you. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, because it's not on for me. If you can see me, that's fine. Well, let me start by most sincerely thanking all of you. Let me start by thanking all of you for your sacrifice, and the enormous efforts you have made in mobilizing the obedience across the globe, both local and in diaspora. I'm humbled by your efforts, by your sacrifice, your commitment, beyond your time, your money, all other resources have been deployed so far in this global campaign. You remain steadfast. And this is invaluable and very appreciative, not just to me, but the ordinary Nigerians. My job this evening is to listen to you. I believe that the job of the leader is to listen and learn and interact. And at the end, we agree on how we can meet so often. All I assure you is that it is not about me. It is about our building a better society for ourselves. I've always said, right from day one, it is about the future of the society we want for ourselves. So it's about you. It's about the future of our children. It's about the future of those unborn. It's about the future of Nigeria that we're all going to sacrifice for. So I want to listen. I want to learn. I want to answer questions. And in the end, if I have any contribution, any speech I can make. So I thank you. And I assure you that I'm here for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, His Excellency, for that brief and straight to the point opening remarks. Now, the future, they say, belongs to the young. And on that note, we will begin to take first from the co-moderators who are with us here. And let's call upon Wayemi. Now, there are so many concerns that, the younger ones have raised. And this is more or less a family meeting, a family affair, in as much as we also are aware that this is being streamed online for obvious reasons. So, Wayemi, you represent more or less the new generations, those that lend their voices, whether you want it or not, dragging people on the Twitter streets and the Twitter spaces. So may you take a couple of minutes to obviously outline and make your own contribution to this evening conversation. Wayemi, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Can you, are you in a position to turn on your video?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so go ahead then.
But you can hear me, right?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
All right. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Thank you guys so much for being here. As Mazi just said, I represent the younger demographic of the people in the obedient movement. Now, I know we all have our own questions to ask, and like Mazi just said, it's a family meeting. So being a family meeting, we will tender our concerns and we will deliberate on it, and hopefully we will find a solution before this meeting ends, right? Now, in as much as I am a co-host and a moderator, I do have my concerns. And my first concern would be how, because I'm going to be using the word we, because it is not just, you know, a one-man problem, it's everyone. So my first question would be, how do we tend to get to the students' community? Mind you, ASU has called off the strike. We've seen students have a lot of interest in the movement. And that is a place we need to tap. So how are we going to get the students on board? Because they're very interested. We can see the students for Peter Obi say that, oh yes, they are ready to go. Just tell us, jump, and we are ready to jump. So how do we mobilize them, judging from the fact that now they've all gone to school? So what do we have in store for them? I'm just going to drop that first question, and as the meeting goes on, I will tender more.
Thank you very much, Wayemi, for that. I do not know, obviously we are all noting down the question that you've asked. I don't know if we have Nana here. Has Nana joined us? Oh, okay, we have Nina. Nina, are you there? Nina Atalo. So what's going to happen is that, Nina, if you may also, if you're in a position to turn on your camera and make your own intervention, maybe 1 or 2 minutes, then we'll move to the next person. Nina, are you there? Kindly unmute yourself. Okay, let's quickly move to those of you that have raised their hands. And we will be, again, ideally, we would want to have these questions written down. Now, please, for those of you in the meeting, make use of the chat section, which is now reopened. And for those online, get your questions all ready. We have people taking your questions from the online space, but we will take those of us now in this meeting. So now for those, Wayemi, can you check those and pick 2 people from those that have raised their hands?
All right, no problem. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to take, well, we have a lot of hands raised.
Okay, let me quickly help you.
I'm gonna take Jamilu A. Aliu, and I'm going to take Priye. So Jamilu A. Aliu, if you can hear me.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, His Excellency. My question, my name is Jamilu Supi, popularly known as Jamilu Supi from Sokoto State right now, and member of the Northern Coalition, the convener of the Northern Coalition for Peace. My question is that since what we call the formations of the PCC, that is Presidential Campaign Council, there is less communication to the member of that committee, that list, and the mobilizations is one of the key. The communication is one of the key. How are the member of the PCC going to receive their communications, and who are we going to refer to in terms of mobilizations across the country? For example, sir, in the northern Nigeria, the local government are vast, and it is very important if we have at the state level a committee that will go around local government to local government in terms of sensitizations, in terms of letting people to know the logo of the Labour Party, because I'm opportunity to even visit more than 7 local government here in person, together with our team in terms of doing sensitizations. Up to now, the challenges we are facing, people doesn't know the logo of the Labour Party, especially in northern Nigeria. So how are we going to receive communications from the PCC down to the members, all the committee members? Then my second question is that the issue of coalition for Peter Obi. So the coalition for Peter Obi has contributed immensely in terms of mobilizations. Why can't we have a directorate so that the coalition for Peter Obi know very well in terms of communications with the support groups? Why can't we have a directorate of support group under the PCC so that the coalition for Peter Obi will supervise all the support groups so that we have synergy within the obedient movement? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jamil. Your question is very clear, and it borders on the PCC communication and the CPO. And I believe His Excellency would eventually get us to have answers to that. So, Wayemi, if you don't mind, take another person, please. Okay. Can I have Great Ogugwa, please? Make it 1 minute.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. I don't know if you can hear me clearly.
Go ahead, we can hear you.
I have 3 questions, but I'll put all 3 of them out within the time you've given me. So one question I have is, if many students registered for their PVCs while the ASU strike was still on, and they were probably at home, now if the schools resume and they have to relocate, how does this affect their chances of voting? Would it be possible to negotiate with the heads of these schools to allow them go back, say, 1 week to the election, close temporarily to allow them exercise their rights to vote, so that we don't lose the votes from those who registered during the ASU strike? Also, are we looking into why we have very high numbers of invalid votes in the South? It's quite alarming. If you look at the literacy rates in the North and the South, it doesn't correspond to what we have with the rates of invalid votes that has been announced by INEC. Should we ask, how, for some explanation of sorts? Then finally, this one concerns me and a number of us and Nigerians in diaspora that are very interested in the obedient movement, which is, how can we come back and contribute? Many of us are, studying or working. I am a scientist. Many of us here, we see many Nigerians, many Africans were developing technologies, in Europe and in the US and so on. We would like to bring this technology home. So what is our president's plan for helping integrate us into the new Nigeria so that we can contribute and accelerate this development? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for those 2 questions. Wayemi, do you have any other person?
Yes, I do. All right, I'm going to take Isisile Uku. Please, if you're there, feel free to ask your question. Thank you.
Can you unmute, please? What's the name again?
The name is Isisile Uku Teke. Okay, I don't think this person is here, so let's just move on. All right.
Take the next person, please.
All right. I'm going to take Soji next. Soji, please unmute your mic. Okay, I don't think Soji is here as well. Guys, I'm so sorry if we don't spend time. We are on a limited time and we're trying to take as much people as possible. So I'm just going to go with Udo Gadio next. Please, if you're there, Udo Gadi, please unmute your mic if you're there.
Udo Gadio Koli, go ahead.
Thank you very much for this rare privilege given to me to say something here. Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, all protocols duly observed. I know there's a whole lot of people that want to say something, so I'll make it very, very brief. Now, my point is about the UK Coalition for Peter Obi. I don't know if the Labour Party is very much aware that we have a coalition body, which is a superior body as far as the support groups in the UK is concerned. It is called the UK Coalition for Peter Obi, led by Mr. Prince. Is a body that is comprised of 4 directors at the moment: Director of Administration, Director of Operations, Finance, and Media. They are like the umbrella body of all the coalition bodies in the of all the support groups in the UK. Now, I want to make an appeal, and I believe I'm speaking to all the conveners of different groups, that the Labour Party please work in close relationship with the coalition UK support, because I know there is also a coalition in Nigeria. We have the P2B support network. We have the coalition for P2B. These are all, umbrella bodies that, work directly with the Labour Party and then cascade down information to, the other conveners. I'm very much aware that, we have the Labour Party UK branch, but then again, I'm not yet certain of their modus operandi. Things are not yet so clear with their activities, and we really wish the Labour Party to please work in direct relationship with our coalition body. By the way, my name is Dr. Udo Gadio Koli, and I'm the convener of the Doctors for P2B United Kingdom.
Thank you very much.
We've been doing several projects across the 6 geopolitical zone. And thank you very much. Please just stick to our coalition. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's take the next person. I think we've taken someone from the UK. We have to make this go round, with bearing in mind the spread that we have. Now, we want someone from Austria. Can we have you, POSN Austria, please? 1 minute, please. Make it snappy.
Yes, thank you very much for this opportunity, His Excellency. May God be with you. My name is Uzoma Ahamefule. My own is not a question, it's a kind of a concern. The way I have seen His Excellency when he went to those that had a problem with when he went to, I think that was in Kogi State, and somewhere in Bayelsa State. The way he was really exposed, I was very, very scared. I was afraid. So please, His Excellency, this is not a question. Please, we are really concerned that we know you're a free man, but we shouldn't forget, personally, I cannot forget the slap the French president got while greeting people. Nigeria now with the alarm we got about security. Please, His Excellency, please, we are watching. Please be very, very careful, please. Another thing I want to say is the concern raised about trying to rig the election, which was tagged Omoma Magic in Imo State. Please, His Excellency, all these plans, people know that P2B is very strong. P2B is the man to beat. This rigging, we should make sure that something is done and done properly.
Thank you very much, Ahamefuna. That's the much we can take. Pardon me that I must interject at this point.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So can we take, again, looking at balancing the whole people that we have here. Wait a minute. If you can read out at least 2 questions from those that have typed their question in the comment section, while I call on the next person to speak, then you then have the floor for the to get the question read out.
All right. Now, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. So okay. I'm going to read through 2 questions. And this is the first question. The first question is, how does Labour Party and our principal intend to boost materials and financially campaign in grassroots levels? What are Labour Party's plans for all support groups in terms of aligning the party and the support groups? We need more support in my local governments, Ibesekpo Asutan. I'm sorry if I can't pronounce this name, but we need more support in Ibesekpo Asutan. There are many volunteers to mobilize and campaign door to door, but our challenge is sponsors. We really need help. We are handicapped. That's the first question. And the second question is, okay. The second, well, this is more of like an opinion. Let me just read it out. It says, give me a minute, please. It says, there's no synergy at all in the presidential campaign, whether from Peter Obi, whether local or in diaspora. So that's the concern. This person is concerned about synergy. So I'm just going to leave it at that, please.
Okay. Thank you very much. Then we move online and we are taking this question from Freemaze. It says, question, are there plans to lift the crypto restrictions in Nigeria? Are there plans to ease the seaport in Lagos by opening up, upgrading, and other seaports in other parts of the country? Now, the next question is Akin Tomide David Bamidele. What are the targets required from 770 local government coordinators in the forthcoming elections, considering previous election data? We may take one more from online, then we take Wayemi White. You can, get 2 more from the in-house. Then we can now allow our principal to address them then before we take further more questions. So the last question that I'm going to take from online is, His Excellency, good evening, sir. I congratulate you for your courage so far. My question is, how do you take the Obidati message to the interior villages that lacks internet access to television stations? Joseph Amadi Wayemi, over to you.
Okay, so the question I have here is, well, this person is saying, talking about coalition body in Nigeria, there is nothing to write home about. Well, basically, this person is saying, what's happening with the CPO? Why is there no synergy with the CPO? They need help with the support groups. So that's all I have from this side.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's the much we can take in this first round of questions. Then we would then have to invite back His Excellency to address these questions and concerns. Then we will take the next round of questions and comments. His Excellency, over to you, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear, sir.
Okay, I hope there's somebody who is also helping to take down his questions, because at times I'm not hearing some of them very well, but I would like if there's somebody who also is helping to remind me the questions.
Okay, I can recap.
I look at the ones I can remember.
If you want, I can recap. The questions are, we started with how do you go, how do we reach out to student community, bearing in mind
students,
that
first reach out to students community now that schools are open. Well, there's it is not everything that I'm going to tell you our strategy here, as we are today in a very open meeting. However, I will tell you that we're going to do everything possible to reach out. When we talk about this movement, we're talking about the youth. You can't talk about the youth without talking about the students. I've said before, and I read that my purpose of doing this or getting involved is for you. It's not about me. It's about the youth. It's about the students, about the children unborn. And I assure everybody, you never regret being part of this movement. You never regret helping to take back Nigeria. So it's the same message that all of you are going to take to the students. I'm going to take it to them as well and say to them, well, listen, this country has been on for several years. Look at where we are today. We have become the poverty capital of the world, out of school children capital of the world, and on and on. So it is the same message that will reach them and say that if you work hard and have a good government, you have a good future. You can no longer stay with people who have made promises in the past that they were not able to fulfill, and they are promising you more today. I wonder what they're going to do to fulfill it. So we are going to go to the students. That's other questions that are here, which again, somebody talked about since the formulation of PCC, there have been less communication and mobilization. Some of these questions are not what I will answer. That's what I will have to take back as a complaint. And I want you, the organizers and those who are co-hosting, to record this, because some of them I want to take back to the campaign body and the party and be able to try to improve on. As you know, because of your sacrifice and hard work, we've been able, within the past 4 months, to achieve what have taken people years to achieve. And the only way we can go on is that we stay on till the end. We'll try to improve on the communication and see what we can do. We will look at discuss the issue of invalid votes. Well, the only thing we can do is to discuss with the INEC. We cannot do anything to that, but just to discuss with them and see how it can be, what is happening, what they are doing, why they have that level of invalid votes. There's a question about collation of all UK support groups into this body, Coalition for P2P group, something like that. Again, they're not things I can answer straight away. It is something we need to look into and ask questions. If I tell you that I can give such directive here, or say go this way or go this way, it will be almost difficult. But I've taken a note of it, and I've asked the question. As we tend to make this meeting regular, I'll be able to be giving updates in the future. How does Labour Party provide financial support and materials for campaign? We're working on all this. And Labour chairman has told you, mentioned, we're a party that is just starting and struggling and supporting ourselves. We don't have one councillor. We don't have a local government chairman. Neither do we have a governor or a president. We're not members of any pastel. None of us serves in board or anywhere or in anything. We're just ordinary folks that want to build a better country, to make it better for everybody. And I want to say that sacrifice will not be in vain. Your sacrifice is not what you regret. My commitment is total, because if you put in more money than anybody, because without you, there won't be a obedient movement today. And what is important that we all know that we are doing this for ourselves. We're not doing it for Peter Obi. I'm not even doing it for myself. I'm doing it for you. And you never regret it. And I want you to put it on tape that I said, I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it because we need to build a better country and a better place. So we're struggling with finances, but we believe this will get better. And we assure you that we're going to come up with some materials and support that will enable you to continue campaigning in the villages. Issue of synergy between support group, the party, and the campaign office. Again, there are things we need to take back and look at them. By next meeting, I can make comments on it. On issue of banning cryptocurrency and everything, if we can't do such promise until we're in government, because people banned it. We don't know reason why they banned it. We don't have access, or if any of you have, you can tell me. If I look at it and say, okay, yes, this is what we are going to do. But until we get to government, we won't talk about. All I can assure you that we will stay within the law. We will serve the rule of law. We will create adequate and fair regulatory environment that will allow businesses and people's endeavor to thrive and work. How do we take obedient message to the interior? Well, it's you, it's me. With you, I believe that we'll be able to achieve that. And that's, for me, the given position. I don't think there's any question I'm missing. Please remind me.
I think the questions, obviously, if you've taken the one that talked about synergy, grassroots support, Labour Party work, I think one that is left out here is the Labour Party working with the coalition of various support groups, especially with the diaspora as well.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That some of these things, I'll take it back. You help me to collect the questions, and I go to Labour Party and say, this is the complaint I'm getting, that there needs to be improvement. There needs for us to work with people in diaspora and work with them very well. That reminds me, somebody mentioned about voting. I've said it when I was going, that this is the last time Nigerians in diaspora will not vote. If those in Kenya, if those in Ghana, if those everywhere in the world are doing it, we must do it.
That is a very huge commitment, that if every other person is doing it, we must do it. So, Wayemi, If you're
Yes,
there,
no,
I think
it's the last time. If I'm
Yes,
there,
I'm
it's
here.
very, if I succeed, it's very simple, very straightforward.
Okay, we would use the opportunity to also bring in the another co-host, Nana Kazaure. Nana Kazaure is one of the spokesperson of the P2B presidential campaign, or rather Obidati presidential campaign. So Nana Kazaure, if you're there, if you've gotten to your destination, you may introduce yourself, and also if you have any interjection to make, you have the virtual lectern for 2 minutes to do that. Nana, are you there? Okay, I think Nana is still on transit. In that case, Wayemi, now can we take the next round of questions? Can you start with call 2-3 people, then we'll take online before we get him to answer the questions.
All right, I'm going to take 3 people with their hands raised. So I'm going to take Dr. Anongu Moses. Please, if you're there, unmute your mic. Thank you.
Anongu Moses, kindly unmute, please.
Okay, thank you very much. I first and foremost appreciate our principal, Mr. Peter Obi, for taking time to be with us here. I'm so happy, and I will raise some of these basic concerns which have been disturbing me initially. The first one is, sir, the need to engage leaders of various support groups in rural areas is very, very important. This is because in terms of your campaigning around the world, around the states in Nigeria, most of the leaders of these support groups, if they are able to be converged to the venue and they go back to your rural supporters, it is as good as taking you to the rural areas, because the ward coordinators, the local government coordinators that will turn up in this event will take a direct message to the rural people, and that will have a positive effect during and after the campaign. That's my concern number one, because in a situation whereby the population in this campaign venue is only restricted to township people, it won't help us. But if the population spread across the rural people, someone made mention of mobilization. I think during campaign, the rural people are supposed to be mobilized more than the people who are living in townships. So please, if you take note of this and the Presidential Campaign Council is able to adopt it.
Thank you very much, Anongu Moses. Thank you.
Yes.
Wayemi, let me borrow 1 minute, 1 minute of your time and invite the coordinator coalition for Peter Obi Dati, that is in the person of Pamsin Daggett, that is the CPO. Pamsin, you have 2 minutes to make your presentation. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, and Your Excellency, it's really a big pleasure for the support group to have this session with you. Having said that, I only need to wonder a concern. Support group choose on their own to create access and network across the country on their own, fund it and put up their programs towards what we see today to be the obedient movement. On their own, they equally felt that in order to take advantage of each other, they should come together and form a coalition. And that coalition, the executive will package activities that will involve the entire support group participation, so that the activities will be huge and will be impactful. Having done all that, And then came the Labour Party. At the youth angle, they are independently start collating support group to run another independent activities. At the organizing secretary's office, at the Labour office, the same story. Now, with the inauguration of the PCC, we are still having the same kind of situation. How is it difficult, Your Excellency, to take advantage of the coalition that the support group on their own came together to package themselves in order to move as one? Number two, the support group, the 150 or thereabout support group under the coalition, we've evaluated the individual mission statement of each of these support groups, and we came up with 8 critical projects, and all with the conceptual document of implementation, with all the budget line. Who do we sit with to look at these things so that we can together take a look at it and then come up with a strategy of going forward, because time is of the essence, and I think we need to really get ourselves in the field. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Pamsin, for that intervention. Again, he who wears the shoes knows where it pinches. Now, Wayemi, over to you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I'm going to take Mr. Fortune Onyeka. Please, Fortune Onyeka, unmute your mic. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yeah, my name is Fortune Onyeka. I'm the convener of Independent Campaign Group for Good Governance in Nigeria. Yeah, first of all, I want to make I want to thank Your Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi, for finding time to bring all the conveners of support groups together to interact with us. First of all, I want to make a suggestion. That's in terms of the coming campaign rally in Benue State. I have a very important suggestion. What I want to say is that the visit to Benue State, there should be a visit that His Excellency should take up a step to visit the Benue State IDP camp. You know, sorry, excuse me. To make it, this will make the campaign more meaningful. You know, it's the current administration of the APC that drove these people by the activities of what is going on in the government, drove these people out of their houses into the IDP camps. So it will also be a very good thing if His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi lands Benue first and first visits the IDP, you know, and on visit there should be some relief materials and some even the campaign materials taken to them before we converge at the campaign rally. I think this will go a long way.
Can I intervene at this point?
Okay, sir.
Yes, please.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
I'm with you, Your Excellency.
I've done so. You're not following me.
No, I'm following.
I've done so. I've visited the ID camps.
I'm aware of that, Your Excellency, but I'm saying on the day of rally too, it should be done. It will have a different meaning from the one you have visited already. Like you are coming to campaign in Benue State.
Unless for take that today, but I've visited them.
I'm aware you have visited them, Your Excellency.
Sorry, Fortune, sorry. Again, thank you very much for your...
okay, I have one other...
no, sorry, we have other people. Sorry, thank you
just
very
one,
much.
Just one.
I said no, we have other people. Respect that. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Can we take the next person, please?
Let him just do one.
Okay, thank you, Your Excellency. Okay, I also, when the issue of the students, bringing the students together arose, like we as a group, we have taken time, as the students resumed, we've taken time to build synergies in school, creating the support group coordinator outreach chapters in schools. So it's also an avenue I want to use to encourage all the support groups. We don't require His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi to go down to the institutions. We as support groups are supposed to do this on our own. go to schools, establish our structures in the school, and have coordinators and bring them together, for the purpose of voting and winning this election. So I don't expect His Excellency to do that for us. It's our responsibility as a support group to do this, because if we all put heads together, we'll achieve victory by 2023.
Thank you very much.
I will also be involved in my own way in doing the same thing. At the same time, all of us will be doing it.
Okay, thank you very much for that, intervention. I will take Nikki. Nikki, please, on this case, please, everyone, can we stick to time? There are over 200 people wanting to ask questions or make interventions. So let's take as much as possible that we can. And on doing that, please, maximum 1 minute. Nikki, go ahead. Nikki, on mute. Go ahead. 1 minute, please.
Good evening, Your Excellency. I'll just go straight to the point, sir. I have sent an email, though, with the link that was shared, but I just have one or two things. One is that we appear to be lacking sort of a centralized channel of communication with the diaspora. We have got the diaspora desk. We do know there's a head of diasporas within the PCC, but there has not been any much communication, and someone has already mentioned it. And then the second thing is to do with the legality. There's been a lot of Labour Party activities in the diaspora. And, from what we are aware of, there are some issues to do with some boundaries within the law in terms of funding political parties. That hasn't been addressed. No one is addressing. And my fear is, we know you're going to win, sir, but we don't want to give the opposition the ammunition to sort of cancel or disqualify the election based on some of those legalities. And there are
okay. Let me comment on issue of funding.
Okay, sir.
Funding of elections from Nigeria, foreign funding is restricted. And so far, nobody will say he has given me any fund for the election from overseas. My initial thought of overseas was to waken up our people in diaspora to understand the problem that is facing, and also get them to mobilize themselves in various ways which they can contribute to support various activities within Nigeria, because I'm talking to Nigerians. All my trips abroad is not about meeting foreigners, but mobilizing Nigerians to understand the need to care for their country. Mine is about Nigerians taking back their country. It's a country that has everything. And if we can mobilize those who are in diaspora, who understands more because of their exposure, and seeing what other countries can do, they can help us to bring about good governance here. With the issue of funding, it is for them to be able to do whatever they are doing and be able to deal with it in any way it can help, especially to support the various activities, not directly support giving me any fund or anything.
Thank you, His Excellency, for that explanation. And I think many people watching online, I can take, taking the pool of what is happening. There is the excitement online that you are sitting down with them and having this conversation from running any other person.
We'll fix them and make sure it's done very often.
Yes. So now, people, you've all had it. That is a promise, and we have to ensure that this promise, if I may act like Oliver Twist and say how often, very often. I guess.
When we close the meeting, we'll agree when we are going to meet next.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. I'm excited already. So, Wayemi, over to you.
All right, thank you very much, Mazi. I'm going to take Dr. Zubairu. Please, Doctor, unmute your mic.
Pay attention, 1 minute, please. Go ahead.
Thank you. His Excellency, the next president, 2023, by the grace of God, Peter Obi, under the platform of Labour Party. My name is Zubairu Suleiman from Gombe State in the northeastern Nigeria. And I am the zonal coordinator, Northeast region for the PPGM. And I want to inform His Excellency and the audience that we have been doing so much to campaign for him through the PPGN, especially in my capacity as the zonal coordinator, with the contribution of our other coordinators, the national coordinator, Dr. Chinelo, and the global coordinator, and the state coordinators, especially for the 6 states of the northeastern region. However, our major challenge right now is that how to reach women and other people, especially in the grassroots, especially looking at the situation of the northeastern states of Nigeria, that most of the states or all of the states are under the APC as the ruling government. So, and also another thing is that the tribal differences between our principal, His Excellency Peter Obi, and most other people in the northeastern states who are different from him in terms of tribe, and sometimes also as a result of religion, reaching out to women in the households, which we believe is very key to succeeding an election, especially in the northeastern region. From our experience, women used to come out in mass and vote, and they used to mobilize not only their husbands, but also their children and their friends. So we want to...
Dr. Zubairu.
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm listening, sir. Your Excellency.
The way I see it is, very simple.
All right, sir.
If you listen to me when I spoke at the Arewa conference in Kaduna, I asked the same question. Is to ask these women, before you speak to the young ones, are their lives improving over the years, or is it deteriorating? Are they better today than they were maybe 10 years ago? Are things improving? Yes, I've said that 2023 election should not be based on all the past method we've used that brought us to where we are today. It should not be based on ethnicity, because that has not helped us. It should not be based on religion. That has not helped us. It should not be based on my tone or any other condition. And I'll give you a very simple listen. Today, I'm not from the north. I've said it, I'm a Nigerian. I don't believe that I'm from this place or that place. I said people should not vote for me because of where I'm come from. But I go there to give you conditions. Nigeria is 62 years old. In these 62 years, people supposedly from the north, very distinguished and respected Nigerians, from the North have either been military leader or president. They serve in the capacity where they're in charge of the country. So you can actually say the North has been in leadership for 47 years. But if you go to Nigeria today and say the 10 poorest states, they're from the North. The North have today the highest number of poor people in Nigeria, even when, of course, Nigeria is poverty capital of the world. The highest number of out-of-school children in the North. The highest number of unemployed people in the North. The highest number of school kidnapping globally is in the North. I can go on and on. So it is not a problem of, it's not the problem of ethnicity. It's not where somebody is coming from. The same thing goes to religion. There's no place the Muslims buy cheaper bread than Christians, or the Christians buy bread cheaper than Muslims. There's no place where they have uninterrupted electricity for the Christians or for the Muslims. Everybody is suffering the same thing. We are not the only country who have diversity in ethnicity or in religion. For the countries that where their own is worse or more, far more than we have here. If we look at the issue of religion, for example, I tell people, the Central Mosque in London, the land is worth over £500 million. To the best of my knowledge, I've not valued it. I'm just doing an estimate considering the location in Central London. But that was given by the Queen for free of charge. The Queen is not a Muslim. If you go to Dubai today, the land and the Kali Church was built by Emir of Dubai. It's there in the wall. He gave them the land, built the church, strategically located in one of the good areas of Dubai. And he's not a Christian, he's a Muslim. So our problem has nothing to do with ethnicity. It has nothing to do with religion. It has nothing to do with other conditions which you have used to elect or select our leaders in the past. And I said, people should not follow me because I'm from the East. People should not vote for me because I'm from the East, or because I'm an Igbo man, or because of anything. Or vote for me because I'm a Christian. I'm contesting this election because I'm the most qualified. And I want people to come out and say what is there. Let us put everything we have on the table. We are looking for hiring the next managing director of the corporation called Nigeria. And the only way you hire a managing director to run your company is to look at his past. Where is he coming from? What is the educational background? Which schools have he passed through? In terms of all people contesting this election, whether it's for one day, I've passed far better schools than anybody. It is not about degrees you earn. It is about education, is about the exposure and where you've passed through. I passed through the best schools anybody can think in the world if it's in terms of education. I'm a businessman, a successful businessman who have worked hard and built my business. I'm a corporate person. I've served as director and chaired corporations. I've been a governor. One, that when I finished in 2015, I became the best governor in terms of implementing MDG, which is the global measure to measure development, which is what China, India, Vietnam, everybody applied to put their people out of poverty. And above all, I'm the only one who left money. So if you say you want to fight corruption, let's go to where you served last and know how much money you left, whether there's anything you left. So that let's know what is missing there. I left money, which I could have taken like every other person. I have no single land allocated to myself, my wife, or my children, anybody. I've been one person who is serving today, whose wife and children is not involved in anything he's doing. They face their little jobs, earning their little pennies, and live their normal life like every other person. Every other person has turned the whole thing into a family affair. But I've not done that. So I'm applying for this job, knowing fully well that I have the capacity to do the job. And the mayor tell them, the biggest, P2B says every day, the biggest assets of Nigeria, physical assets, is the vast uncultivated land in Nigeria. If I'm given the opportunity to serve this country, the North will forever remain something that they will know that they have voted somebody they will forever remain grateful and proud of, because I'm going to change the North. Those vast land Nigeria have today, over 50% of its fertile arable land are cultivated. No other nation in the world can say it's not like that. Not one. So we need to cultivate it. We need to deal with it. I don't want to go into it. So if they're telling you is where I come from, tell them that you have somebody who is coming to change Nigeria. I'm not coming for the same past record of the road we are trading today cannot lead us to anywhere. Then there's somebody coming to change, real change in Nigeria and make things work for everybody, put people out of poverty. That's what we're coming to do. And I am committed to it. Be rest assured, whenever they tell you, if you want me to come to Gombe and tell them that, I will do so.
Thank you very much. That's concluding on that note with a challenge to the people of Gombe, that if they want him to come and say this in Gombe, that he is willing and ready to do that. Now we go to, we've taken enough people that are on this stream. We're going to go to the comment section, if you may pick 2 or 3 questions from the comment section while I go to those watching online and take 2 questions from the online platform as well. So may I hand over to you?
All right.
But, before we do, I think Nina Atalo wanted to have a word or two. Nina, you have 2 minutes, after which Wayemi will take over and read the questions out.
All right, good evening, His Excellency. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, my sister.
Thank you, sir, for making yourself available for this meeting. I am extremely glad that my fellow Obedience and I have the opportunity to interact with you freely. I dare say that listening to you is always an insightful experience. And I am quite glad that we have already agreed that these meetings will happen more frequently. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So Wayemi, over to you.
Okay. So the first question I have here is this, and this is from Isisele. He says, from Pomdan, it is expensive to acquire campaign materials in Nigeria. Some of us are trying to get these things from China, but the cost of logistics is prohibitive. Can the PCC consolidate everyone's efforts? Can the PCC consolidate everyone's efforts? That's where he stops. Then the second question I have is this. Are there plans by Labour Party to combat the issue of potential violence geared towards suppressing the votes and intimidating voters who are very much likely to vote for Peter Obi? So those are the two questions.
Let me tell you. Yes, I quickly answer this too. First is there's trying to procure campaign materials is very expensive. Can the PCC help? First, let me thank all of you. I said it at the beginning, the sacrifice you're doing is enormous. The PCC and all of us are doing the same sacrifice. This party, we're not talking about people who have, over the years, stolen our commonwealth and are now sharing it and I'm using it to intimidate us. The money they are sharing is why all of us are hungry. That's why we produce poverty. That's why that's why I have all sorts of things and all that. That's why we are flooding. Because these are the monies that would have used to be to dredge rivers. So what we're saying is everybody's making sacrifice. I'm doing mine. Yours is greater. Yours is like a widow's mite. So it's much appreciated. All I promise everybody that you will not regret being part of this movement. I'm happy you're tapping it and it's streamed. You will not regret being part of this movement. All we want is to change our country and make it work for everyone. Make it work for you. We're going to do whatever we can, in every small way, to see what we can. We're trying to raise money. I didn't want to go to people initially and start saying, we need money, because I don't want people to see me as being in this race because I want to make money, I want to raise money. But now we're going to come up, we're going to set up one or few accounts. We've already chosen people who will be signatories to the account, who are connected with me, who have nothing to do with me and everything. We're doing campaigns in various states now, which is costing us a lot of money. So we assure you that we're going to do our best and everything. The second question is issue of combating violence. Well, we're not violent people. And I don't want us to be violent people. All we want is to vote and insist that our vote counts. We will insist that our vote counts. And I assure you, this time around, no matter how violent they are, our vote will count. That is what is important to us. These are part of the things we want to stop. There's no violence in electing people everywhere in the world. Angola has just had an election. Other countries of Africa having an election. Angola had an election now where people outside voted. Kenya had an election. Yes, there might be one or two violence, but it's minimal. They've just had an election where people who are nobody was voted in. Malawi, everywhere. It's happening everywhere in the world. Ours will not be different. All we want is opportunity to be a country. We have people who are governors, who have conscience, who have heart, who can say they've come to serve their people. That's all we're asking. So go out there and preach it. Tell them not to worry. We will be there. We're not going to fight. We're not going to quarrel. We're not going to throw money around because we haven't stolen any.
So thank you very much. May I use the opportunity now to bring back Nana Kazaure. Nana, if you're there, quickly turn your video and I can see that you're on now. Nana, are you there? Nana Kazaure, please make your intervention and quickly take 2 questions from the audience. Do you, oh, it appears probably you're having internet challenges, I don't know. Nana, are you there? Okay, so sadly, your connection is not playing along with us this evening. So, Wayemi, can you take one more last question before we go? Oh, okay, Nana is turned on. Nana, go on. Sorry about that, Nana. It appears the thing is not playing along this evening. Wayemi, can you take one more question before we take those online? Thank you.
All right, no problem. So my next question is this. Can he create quick channels for support groups where they can access him easily or given quick attention? So that's the question that I have. And I have one more.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next question I have is, how does LP hold INEC responsible or have INEC address the issue of over 40% invalid PVC registration in the Southeast and South-South in order to prevent people from being disenfranchised? That's all the question that I have for now. Thank you.
Well, the issue of holding INEC responsible is all of us. The people have said about us holding INEC, we will do whatever we can to ask questions and everything. But when we talk about labor, when we talk about political party, it's about all of us. We will do whatever is possible to hold them responsible. The other question you asked is, there's 2 questions.
Yes, the other question was, how can the support groups have quick access where attention is given?
Let me assure you, like I said before, this meeting will be very often. We'll agree when we finish. If it means voting, we vote and say how often we want it. I'm a Democrat and I believe in consensus. It's about leadership. What I'm trying to do is about you, it's not about me. So you have to. Everybody knows that I'm a consensus person, I'm a listener, which I believe everybody, and I'm a learner. So we can agree, we can say in this meeting, there are 800 of us, we can even vote and say, well, listen, this is what the people say. We're going to do it weekly, monthly, every 2 weeks, That's what we're going to end with today.
Thank you very much. On that note, we will come back to those of, we will be rounding up very quickly. I understand that we lost some minutes when we started, but, we'll make it up and you have to help us to help here. And I'm going to do this now quickly. 5 people, 1 minute each. Dennis I. Korige, please quickly unmute. 1 minute. Go ahead.
Thank you, moderator. Good evening, Your Excellency. Protocols duly observed. My name is Dennis I. Korige. I'm the convener and global coordinator. Diaspora Strong Computer B, Buffalo, New York. My question or concerns, I think, is being raised by some people. I've seen the chat, and is the non-inclusion of the conveners on the presidential campaign list. It seems most of us were being overlooked. If we control over 2,000 people routing and campaigning
my dear brother, let me tell you.
Yes.
Whenever people talk about campaign this, I've said it and I'll say it again. In that entire list, I, Mr. Peter Obi, did not nominate one name. And for me, the work you're doing is greater for me and more important. Do not look at the list. You are there, you're involved. We know who you are, we know what you're doing. Let us go to work to build our country. If people in that list will help us to have a better country where everybody will be safe, so be it. If they won't, so be it. And I tell them the same thing. This is about building a new country. This is not about Peter Obi, it's about PCC. And don't think that if you're in that list, you have an appointment. It is not true. When we succeed this time, square peg, everybody must fit in. We must have credible, competent people with character in government, people who help us deliver the results. So we want to work. We will ensure that whoever works hard will one day wake up and say, I'm happy I was part of this government. Let me tell you, when people say judiciary in Nigeria is corrupt, I said to you, they are not. Maybe tomorrow I'll have reason to say otherwise. But I can tell you, in my being a governor in Anambra State, I stayed in court for 3 years without giving any judge 1 naira, and I won. I went to Court of Appeal without knowing anybody, I won. One of the judges that made me to win in Court of Appeal, and I was sworn in as the governor, met me 2 years after. 2 years after I was already governor, and said to me, she tapped me and said, Governor Obi, how are you? And I said, oh, I'm okay. He said, I'm so and so person. I thank God that you did not disappoint. I would have felt bad because you were right and we gave you the right judgment. And I can tell you, so was all the people. I have people who helped me to be governor who said, yes, I didn't have a personal benefit, but my people benefited. The school in my community changed. This one changed, this one changed. So let us sacrifice for Nigeria. Let us not look at any list. The list is you and me trying to build a better Nigeria. The list is you and me trying to build a better society in which we and the children yet unborn will live in.
Yes, thank you, Excellency. I'm very satisfied with
thank you very much. And let's take another person. Peter Dogo, please. Peter Dogo, go ahead. 1 minute, please.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and Your Excellency. It's a privilege to be on this platform. I have just 2 issues to raise. The first one is we are a support group registered by the Labour Party. So we have been trying to get approval from CAC for us to have documents to open our corporate bank account. So, and they have always been denying the support groups, not just our own only. So how do we go about it so that through that we have a corporate account?
I can only take it on with the legal advisors of the party.
Okay.
You know, there's nothing you can do with all these things. These are some of the things we are trying to overcome. I can only take it on with them. I cannot do, you know, that's all I can advise you. I will, if somebody's writing all these questions down, I want them to be printed and I'll keep them and I'll ask questions.
Thank you very much. Be rest assured, these questions will be, sorry, that's, you know, let's go to another person.
I had two questions.
Please. So, no. One question.
Maybe we'll allow him to just do the answer because maybe just, please. Okay, Peter.
All right, thank you.
Very quickly.
Yeah. The second point is, second question is about the support groups registered under the leadership of the suspended national youth leader. So are the support groups still valid because they were registered through the LP website? And how is he?
Quite frankly, between me and you, whatever happened to suspended youth leader was action of the party. It has absolutely nothing to do with me or the campaign. The party leadership is separate from me. I obey them. I'm subject to them. They can even sack me. I've always told the party is supreme. I respect whatever they do. But if I tell you that I had a preview, I had a knowledge, they were going to suspend somebody, I didn't. If I had, I would have actually pleaded with them. For me, I will always preach, let's see whether somebody can change. The last thing I do is to lose. I've always believed that we're here to correct bad people. So until we exhaust reason. So, but I heard it the way you had it in the news. And I can't do anything.
Thank you.
God have told me since what was the problem, but it's already happened, you know.
Thank you very much, His Excellency. Can we take Kunle Adeleji, please? Kunle, unmute yourself.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. All protocols observed. My name is Kunle Adeleji. I am with Diaspora Medics for Good Governance. We want to thank you for this opportunity. The question I have is that having done this initial push by all these support groups to help get PVCs and all these other things, we were expecting that there would be some coordination from the PCC, the Labour Party, or the Big Tent. We haven't seen that. So I don't know if there's anyone we should be talking to, or we just do what we can on our own, knowing that it may hit or miss. That's my question. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, let me understand. What about coordination? Because like I said, I'm learning. You can also help me too.
Yes, sir. So, for example, we did PVC collections, and we used POSN data to decide on which states to go to and help with PVC registration. Now we're about to do collection. We want to do mobilization on ground. We don't know which state to go to. So we are the diaspora, so it's not like we're on ground. We're depending on people on the ground to tell us this is where help is needed. This is what needs to be done. And so we are waiting for that. We thought the campaign would lead us. Yes, sir.
I'll ask that question. I will ask that question. You know, when I get the report of all the questions that were asked.
Okay. Thank you very much. Kunle Adedeji, please.
I just asked the question. I'm Kunle Adedeji with DM for GG. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Ayokunle Adetula, please. Sorry.
All right, good evening, everybody.
1 minute, please. Go ahead.
Yes, I want to thank His Excellency for giving us this time to have this discussion. I think what I was just going to ask is a variation of what has been asked before. So from a personal perspective, grassroots work, we've been talking to people, and a lot of us have spent resources, and we are spent. We have spent resources, our personal resources, and we are spent. But we see that there is still much work to do. There are places to cover, places where we have started meetings twice every month, and we are doing this grassroots work. How would the Labour Party really come and support? We understand that funds are not coming in, but we are spent, and we can see that the work is still there. Some of us live from Lagos to our states in the Southwest to do this work. We really need that assistance to be able to work. How does the party come in to assist us? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, first, so thank you, Ayo, for what you've been doing. Thank you for your sacrifice and everything. Labour Party is like, I'm the one you say, how do I come in and help? I assure you that we're doing everything possible to see how we can, even if it's just ₦1, see whatever we can do to support in any way we can. All that I'm trying to tell you is that we don't have the privileges of anybody. We don't have councillor, we don't have local government chairman, we don't have governors, we don't have this. But remember that all these people are people who don't want again, because they've done it for 20-something years, and in past 20-something years, we created mass poverty. So we are David. We're using that strength to chase these Goliaths. And I assure you, we will, by His grace, achieve it. So we're doing whatever we can. But most important is that you've been a great person.
Okay, thank you very much, His Excellency. I want to invite the convener of Take Back Niger that has been embroiled in some controversy within the Twitter space in the last couple of days. So Jack has raised his hand to ask a question and make an intervention. Jack, over to you.
Thank you so much, Mazi. Good evening, His Excellency. Thank you for the opportunity to share this moment with you. We really appreciate you. So, sir, just like Mazi had alluded earlier, our account was blocked by Keystone Bank with no reasons given to us, and we only found out when we wanted to make withdrawals. And official letter was sent to the bank for official communication as to why the account was shut down. There was no, they have not up until now responded as to the reason, only for the bank to go to refund all the donations that came into the account to, the donors. We had actually released a statement about that a day before yesterday. Up until now, the bank has not even responded, not publicly, not privately. As a matter of fact, the only result said to threatening us as to why we had to go online. I would genuinely want you to intervene, His Excellency, because I know that you're a banker, and maybe there might be one or two persons that will come to our aid, because our activities are currently, we can't print materials. As a matter of fact, it was materials I wanted to pay for that I even had to find out that our account was blocked. And this is really,
Where is the account located?
The account is located at NMPC Towers in Abuja here, sir. Keystone Bank, to be precise. So
Keystone
that is for
Bank.
that.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
I'll ask that question. My brother Jack, there's so many things that happen in this country that doesn't happen anywhere in the world. That's why I keep saying about rule of law and order, an environment where everybody will live a normal life. As a governor, I kept preaching this. Not everybody in the state will like me. Today, I said the same thing. So for me, this is what I'm preaching, that I must serve Nigerians faithfully, where those who are with me, those who are not with me, everybody will now become members of political parties, in the sense that they will say where they belong. In America, in every other part of the world, you're free to say, I'm a businessman. But I can tell you, today, there's people who don't want to see me by the day. There are people who don't want to answer my phone because of fear of the society we live in. Everybody lives in fear. I live in fear. So it doesn't make sense. Nobody lives in that kind of country. We're Nigerians, we live in fear. You're not free to do anything. What they're doing to your account, you can imagine what they're doing to me. Every day, if you're not asking this question, they're asking that question. Nobody gives you. This is a country where only criminals survive. Nobody, if you're honest, nobody calls you, nobody does anything with you. Otherwise, nobody will be asking me questions. After I freely left, as of the day I left office, the equivalent of $500 million. In other countries, I'll be winning an award. Here, you are criminalized for leaving it. But those who stole it are actually given the honor. So it's a country that is opposite. So don't worry, I'll ask the question. But there's nothing I can do.
Thank you, His Excellency. You said something that struck a chord. In a country where criminal activities and criminality reigns, where a man leaves so much money for his states, and rather than be celebrated, questions and irrelevant questions have been asked. 2023, fellow Nigerians watching here and online, the narrative must not remain the same. You and I have the power to ensure that that which he said now never happens again, as long as the Lord tallies. Now, we will be rounding up, people. It has been almost 2 hours engagement with His Excellency, and we thank him for his time. But again, before we let him go, there is an adage in my place that says, let me ask
okay.
Yeah.
I've noticed some people have been complaining that enough women have not been allowed to ask questions.
Exactly. That's where I was headed to, sir.
So I don't mind. I don't mind even if we have to go for 30 minutes more.
Okay.
Because we have to accommodate them. This government is about youth and women.
Okay. You know what? Wait, I hand over to you, and I want you to take women. But before you come over, I will take Blessing, Obi, Allison. Blessing, let's start with the women. Just give 3 women, please, or 4, 5. I mean, it's your choice. I leave that to you. Make that decision. Blessing, if you're there, go ahead. If not, Wayemi, take over, please. Wayemi, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to go with Honorable Adora. Honorable Adora, if you're here, please unmute your mic. Thank you.
Hi, everyone.
Good. Yes.
Can you hear me? Wait, me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I just really wanted to talk about that INEC issue, and the fact is it's unfair, and we are trying our best to get everyone sensitized as quickly as we can. But we know, Your Excellency, you have a wider reach, and I was wondering, is it possible at all to just tweet about it, just so that INEC knows that we have our eyes on what's going on, and that's, we are ready for them. That's it. Thank you so much.
Which one is the next thing, Adora, if I may ask, please? What do you want me to tweet about so I know exactly what I'm doing? Because I'll be acting on your instructions.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm on the spot. Okay, sir. So it's the whole about over 40% of the Southeast and I think about 60% of Bayelsa voters were just, invalidated by INEC. And I mean, it's not adding up. Even River State has the same problem, and a lot of, the southern states. So it's not fair. It's not adding up. How is that? So that's what I was hoping that you
I'll make a exception of that by collecting this question and actually trying to make an appointment or send somebody to INEC to actually clarify for us what is happening, so that by the time I come for the next meeting, I should be able. I'll take this, like I said, we must make note of all this and ensure that next time we actually take it up so that people know, again, that we know what is happening.
Wayemi, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm going to take our next speaker in the name of Lady Ijoma. Lady Ijoma, please, if you're there, unmute your mic. Thank you.
I'm Lady Ijoma Harold, and then I actually wish to thank you so much for coming for this meeting and all the things you have even done so far, and our efforts that are also being recognized. We appreciate you, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, I wanted to actually ask you about the people in diaspora. We have so many members in diaspora, if they will be able to vote electronically, because I assume their votes should count as well.
We're not in this election because all I said is that this is the last election they will not vote. Okay. They must vote in the future. Of course, if I succeed, you can take it for granted. It's automatic.
Wayemi, are you there? Take the next person,
yes,
please.
I'm here. Our next speaker is going to be Priye. Priye, if you're there, please unmute your mic. Okay, Priye, are you there? Please unmute your mic. All right, it seems Priye is having some form of network issues.
Oh, no. Hi. The host just let me unmute. It's been telling me host disabled this, so I've not been able to unmute from the beginning. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. So my question will be, firstly, there's feedback from many people that we would be needing situation rooms in many states. I see that very much the elections are approaching, and we need to kind of explore those options because so many things are happening in many places. And from this meeting, you can tell that things are happening and people are not able to either give feedback or don't know where to report their complaints to. There's no maybe official email that we can, email any occurrence anywhere in Nigeria. I think we should have either situation rooms or a centralized, set of contact information, maybe emails. It's very, very important. And then secondly, we need awareness for ad hoc staff. We need to be represented in every ward, in every local government around the country. But people are confused as to how to, register as ad hoc and represent the Labour Party in different wards during the election. And for me, I think we should start making those plans because elections are fast approaching. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think the Labour Party will direct this to the Labour Party, and I assure you appropriate action will be taken. We're all overwhelmed because in a space of a few months, we've come up with this movement that everybody's trying to cope. So, but I appreciate your contribution and everything, and I assure you we'll do whatever we can.
Okay, moving on. We're going to take our next speaker in the name of Nne. Nne, if you're there, please unmute your mic. Thank you. Nne, are you there?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please unmute your mic. Thank you.
Thank you. Your Excellency, I'm so excited to be speaking in your presence, but I'll get straight to my point. My issue is with the Nigerian embassy here in the UK, in London. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. I wish that I could complain to the current government, but as we know, they're just not up to standard. Please, if you could factor in how it can be restructured or worked on, I would be so grateful. I have my mom and my brother are traveling to Nigeria.
I've been abroad for several years, and I've been traveling abroad for several years. And I know what Nigerians are going through. This is part of the reformation we're talking about. Our embassies will now be trained and made to defend Nigerians.
Thank God.
They are doing their work. But remember that it has become a case of political appointments and no longer professionally trained to understand what their role is. Part of what we are trying to do, building patriotism and building a new Nigeria, so that our embassies will be trained to know that their job including and especially to defend and protect every Nigerian and give them the best services where they will be proud to be Nigerians. We have a country called Nigeria, but we don't have Nigerians. It is my wish to create Nigerians. People will be proud to say we are Nigeria. Any day, I'm a Nigerian and I believe in Nigeria. And that is what we want to do.
So let me help Wayemi here. We are Nigerians and we have Nigeria, but we don't have Nigerians. What a brilliant statement. Now, as we are winding up, let me call upon Nneka. Nneka, please, if you're there, kindly unmute, take 1 minute. And I know the men folk will be thinking, well, haven't we taken enough women? But, this government that is incoming has a lot to offer, both women, the young, the old, the elderly. So, Nneka, please, kindly unmute. Okay. While Nneka is trying to do that, Ezinne Onyekwolu, please. Kindly unmute. 1 minute, please.
I didn't raise up my hand.
You did.
Good evening. No, I didn't. I think you're mistaking me for someone else.
Okay, thank you very much then. Nneka Okereke, please.
Hi, okay, so mine is a suggestion because I've seen a lot of people complain about funding and all that has been like a kind of a burden to a lot of support group. So while we are agreeing on how often we are going to meet with His Excellency, so I was thinking if we can also incorporate something like a fundraising. It can be done like every other week, and I however want to run it, and we can raise funds that we can now use to help all these other support groups. So that just was at the top of my head right now. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. We're going to take Julian Okeke next. Julian, are you there? Please, if you're there, please unmute your mic.
Well, if Julian is not there, can we take Daniel Adetayo, please? Daniel Adetayo.
Yeah, thanks a lot for the opportunity to speak. Good evening, Your Excellency. All protocols duly observed. My question is regarding combating fake news. What is Labour Party doing about it? Because we're doing a lot online to combat this, but when it comes to combating like all the falsehoods on ground, I would like to know what the party is doing about this. Thank you.
Okay, so that we move speedily. His Excellency.
There's nothing you can do to stop fake news in the world. It's like you try your best, everybody's doing whatever they can to manage it, but it's not something we can say we're going to contain. Essentially, it hasn't been contained in the first world and second world. Talking of third world where there's no rules, it will be very difficult. We just have to go on doing the right thing, staying on the right lane, speaking the truth. I believe that the truth will always prevail.
Okay.
All right, we're going to take, we're going to take Omar next. Omar, if you're there, please unmute your mic. Thank you. Is Omar there? Seems like Omar is not here.
Okay, let's take Dr. Kudi, please. Dr. Mary Kudi, quickly, 1 minute, please.
Hello, good evening, sir, Your Excellency. It's a pleasure to have you with us. Actually, it's a good thing I stayed later because I want to commend you for hitting the ground running about the students' rally. I follow you on Twitter and LinkedIn, and I saw you had already arranged some rallies in the universities, so which is good. I'll encourage you.
The universities, I didn't even know. Maybe, these support groups, they arrange everything and they direct me to go there.
Okay, but it's good. I will encourage you to do that because they are the largest part of your demography. And this set of demography needs you as a galvanizer. You are the galvanizer and the catalyst. And to such demography, rallies are very important.
I'm committed to the future of the young ones.
Thank you, sir. And secondly, I want to
commend,
okay, and I want to commend you for putting up your CV right up there. Like I'm from the north, I'm from Gombe State, but I grew up in Bauchi. To my brother that spoke from Gombe, what I will encourage you to do is what our parents did growing up and what the Muslim in the past, the other politicians that are mostly Muslim, what they do is like you have the Evangelical Church of West Africa, like the other big churches. What they do is they go to these women in these churches. Now, like now, EQUA is spread all over. Gombe, Gombe State. So if you take ECWA from just within Gombe, they can help spread this the movement through to all the parts of Gombe State, to the little villages. So I'm encouraging him to use that model. And now you have even the Muslims. They also have their schools. So you can take Your Excellency CV to them. And actually, recently I saw a little video clip in which one other woman was saying that they would rather trust an Igbo man because Igbos have been known to stay with the Northerners and they've been known not to cheat the Northerners. So in as much as we present your CV, we can bring in some of this sentiment along, but we have many avenues in which we could reach the different demographics.
Thank you.
Thirdly, please.
All I wanted to say,
thank you very much, madam.
The third one.
All I wanted to say to them is that I'm going to help. For me, my commitment is to put people, the poor people, out of poverty in the North. And I've had to do it and do it aggressively.
Thank you very much. Can we take a Dr. Adefolase Adeboyo, please? 1 minute, please. Can we stick to time? We are rounding up now.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Dr. Adefolase. I'm representing Peter Obi Movement, Southwest, and I happen to be representing, I'm also the Secretary and Strategic Mobilization Officer of the Lagos Campaign Council. So I want to talk a bit on behalf of the Chairman of the Campaign Council, and I want to say that we have been mobilizing, especially the support groups, because one of the first things we did when we started was that we wanted to bring the support groups together. And one of the things we are doing is to get every person to be obedient at the polling units. I will not be able to say more than that concerning this particular issue because this is an open platform. And I also want to say that for all support groups in Lagos, our office is open. We are receptive to everyone, every person, every support group members, because we believe you are the vehicle that we are going to use to take to Aso Rock. And our office is at number 56, Bataye in GRA. Because why I'm saying this, because some people don't know where to make their complaints. Because while our Excellency was talking, some people were saying, where would they make some complaints in Lagos? And some of these questions we can answer. So that is to answer and make some of these questions easier for those that are in Lagos. And I also wanted to tell our Excellency if in a way he can talk to all support group members that if we can meet at the polling units, I will not say more than that because it's an open place. This is an open place, but strategy is that all our support groups will prefer all of us meet at the polling units. Thank you for this opportunity. God bless Your Excellency. I thank the conveners of this program.
Thank you. Thank you, definitely. Thank you, my sister.
Okay. While we are now rounding up, Jegede, please.
All right. Good evening, Your Excellency. Thank you for the opportunity. I don't have much time. Let me just go straight to my points. Sir, I am very worried about the polling agents. I understand that most infractions happen at the polling units. And we have come to realize that in the hinterland, we don't have the required polling agents. Some time ago, a data capture was done, and we realized that almost every volunteer that wanted to be at the polling agent were all in the major cities. And we carried this information to the Labour Party and we told them, look, let us go to the local satellite towns and the villages, the grassroots, and get people who are willing to stand as polling agents. Recently, again, the PCC, they came up with online registration for agents. And we realized that these people that are served as agents, most of them don't have smartphones. So we need to devise another means of collating polling agents. And I want you to take it seriously, Your Excellency, sir, because if we have an agent in every polling unit.
I assure you, we're going to take it seriously.
Thank you,
and
sir.
we have agency pulling it in.
It is very important.
This is why these discussions are important. We'll be collecting names and everything, and we'll take it from there.
Thank you very much. Okay, next person. Okay, sorry, go ahead. Wait a minute.
All right, I'm going to take Chris Annie. Please unmute your mic. Thank you.
Chris Annie.
Okay, seems like Chris is not here. Then I'm going to go with, okay, I'm going to go with Dr. Issa. Dr. Issa, if you can hear me, please unmute your mic. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much, Your Excellency. Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. So I have a real question. So what is the campaign council doing to train the support groups in terms of effective grassroots mobilizations as we work on getting materials across to the support groups or down to the state? So what is the campaign council doing to train them on effective utilization?
I've said we're doing everything possible to see how we can be able to get some materials, doing everything to see how we can manage. I'm talking to the DG of the campaign, chairman of campaign council, and other leadership of the party to see how we're going to deal with it. But like I said, whatever you can do to help will be greatly appreciated.
Okay, thank you. Oge Gold from Kanu. Now, for many of you, obviously, we have over 200 people wanting to ask questions. It may help if we attach our location after our name to help. So, but let's take Oge God now, so that we ensure that all the states in Nigeria are given access to asking questions. Please, Oge God, go ahead. Sorry, sorry, your connection is indeed very...
I think Oge is having some form of connection issue.
Yes,
okay.
Indeed. Can we take Umene Jego, please? 1 minute, please. Can we stick to 1 minute, please? Go ahead. Okay. Probably unavailable. Take 2 more questions, then we'll take questions from the chat room, then that's it. We'll call it a night. Thank you.
All right, that's fine. I'm going to go with Sir Neri. Sir Neri, please unmute your mic if you can hear me. Thank you. I think from what I'm reading in the comment section, some people are saying they can't unmute their mic because the host muted their mic. So Mazi, you mind?
Go ahead.
Okay, yes, am I audible now?
Yes, you're audible, please.
Thank you very much, Wayme. Thank you very much, the host. My name is Omar. My question is, looking at the, good evening, Your Excellency, all protocols observed. Yes, sir. Looking at the dynamics of this election, it is very obvious that you have a lot of support from the youth voting population, and a large number of them are actually situated in the southwestern part of the country. And in as much as there is a candidate running in the southwest against you, a large number of us support you because of what you stand for and what you believe in. But in terms of the efforts of what we see on the ground, some of us, we have a lot of people on the ground. I represent the Southwest Citizens for Peter Obi. And the level of work that is being done on the ground, it leaves a lot to be desired, sir. And we are putting in our own efforts. We have jingles running on radio stations from tomorrow. We have, we've done a lot of market sensitizations. and we still have some upcoming. But then we're beginning to feel like we're all... Yes, sir.
They begin to feel like...
Yeah, we're beginning to feel like we're being left in the cold simply because the level of work that is being done on the ground does not really match the enthusiasm that we believe that we're getting.
You can never be left in the cold. No, you can never be left in the cold. Like I said before, we are in this together. We're in this for our future. We're in this for the future society our children will live in. And it requires enormous amount of sacrifice. You know, the same way you feel is what all of us feels. You know, I go around and you see all the big names telling you who is big man going around with him. Who are those people? He's alone, he's this. And I said to them, don't worry, I'm not alone. I'm with the people of Nigeria. So you're not in the cold at all.
Thank you very much, sir.
I assure you of that.
Thank you very much.
Just doing whatever you can. We will all come in and help in any way we can. If it is possible, let me even know the radio stations you are playing your jingle so I can listen to them.
Yes, sir.
Urge other people to participate.
Yes, we have some on Crest FM from tomorrow, and we're reaching out to radio stations in Ibadan, in Oyo State, from tomorrow, sir. And also, sir, before I go, let me just quickly take the privilege that I'm engaging you directly. I'm speaking for the Obedient Movement. A large number of us, I'm a very prominent member of the Obedient Movement on Twitter, and we organize a lot of conversations, and we do a lot of mobilization as well. A lot of us, we felt like there's been a little bit of delay in the process of harmonization between the Obedient Movement and the Labour Party. Because at the end of the day, we understand that we're just a movement, but without the Labour Party, it is a bit difficult for us to actively get involved in the electoral process. And there's been quite a lot of bottlenecks in our integration process into that party, sir. And I believe I speak for so many of the Obedients. We hope that you're able to step in and maybe ease that harmonization process so that we can be able to integrate properly into the party, sir.
No problem, no problem.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Our next speaker is going to be Annie. Annie, if you can hear me, please unmute your mic. Thank you. Is Annie there? Please unmute your mic.
Annie, and what?
Please confirm, I think it's something from your own end. The situation of the host is muting me. Annie, unmute your mic, please. I think this is like some form of technical error. Okay. Moving on, I'd like to take a female. Let's take Augustina Ezekwesili. I hope I pronounced that name right.
Yes, thank you so much. Can you hear me, Wayemi?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, my name is Dr. Stina. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak. Well, I have a little concern, and first of all, I'd like to suggest that in subsequent meeting, we can have something that is more aligned to strategy discussion, specifically from the conveners of the support group, because I noticed that my inbox, for example, on Twitter and WhatsApp is full of people making very valuable suggestions, but I do not think that there is so much channel for them to, express it. So if we can have other meetings that would be more aligned to discussing strategies. Again, I want to emphasize that the people at the polling unit, that is the SPOs, and the other ward officers, should be something that we should look into aside the polling unit's agents, because the SPOs are the first point of election manipulation when you talk about the polling unit station. And I noticed that INEC will soon be closing their submission for SPOs. So I do not know what is our plan. I hope that we have a plan to quickly submit these names, because the truth is everybody tried to get their people on board, so that you are sure that people who are going to be at the polling unit would be passionate towards the cause to get you into office. So that is one other area I want us to look at. Now, also for the conveners in the support groups, I think that we haven't really, maybe when you will be here for the next meeting, you'll be able to give them a direct heads up on how we intend to tackle the issue of funding, because a lot of them are getting tired. And if you strategically look at the reports that is coming in from the obedient movement, you will notice that we are not as emphatic as we used to be, because most of the conveners have exhausted the funds that they have, and we're already having donor fatigues. So I'm hoping that when you are here next, we'll have a direct response from you on how you are going to tackle the issue of direct funding to the conveners of the support group. Thank you so much, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, our next speaker is going to be Jimmy. Jimmy, please, if you can hear me, or mute your mic. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Please, can the host please unmute? I'm getting messages of they are trying to unmute, but they can't unmute because the host, it's giving them a message of the host is muting them. I think this is some form of technical glitch. Okay. All right. Okay, you know what? Let's do this. How about we drop our questions in the chat box, please? Then I will read it out. Please kindly drop your questions in the chat box. And equally indicate where you are speaking from. Okay. All right. I haven't gotten questions in the chat box. Okay. Someone's mic is unmuted. Okay, so I have a question here, and the question says, when is the manifesto coming out?
Thank you.
Mazi, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. So you know what, let's just do this. Let's just drop the questions in the chat box. Since some people cannot seem to unmute themselves, I don't know why. Well, please. Okay.
So I do not know what is, it appears some people are unable to, but if you can please type down, put down your question, your His Excellency is still there, but if you can please put down your questions in the comment section so that it will be easier for me to pick you. Oh, okay, His Excellency is back again. Sorry. You're back, sir. You're back. So, okay, we would, if he manages to get back, I think he will be right to respond to that. Then we have him give us his closing remark. Then we'll call it a day. We cannot exhaust and talk about everything in one day. Let's fight and run away in order to come back and fight another day. So quickly, let's see if we can get him back. So His Excellency, if you're able to unmute yourself, please.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes, we can hear you now. Exactly.
Okay.
All right, so this is a question from Prisma. Please, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can.
It says, Your Excellency, sir, what can you do to get Ogun State candidates, including the governor, uploaded to the INEC server? The deadline is 28 November, and some of the placeholders have refused to step down.
This is a tough one for me to answer. You know what this thing is all about. There's nothing anybody can do. And part to continue to plead with people. What we're trying to do now is very difficult because you have for enemy all the people who live off the old order fighting back through placeholders, through all sorts of characters, through all sorts of things. So you can only try. But like I keep telling people, we work hard. In the end, whatever we're able to achieve, let's work hard and ensure that we succeed. When we succeed, we'll deal with this sort of issue.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. So the next question I have here is from Annie, and she says, I believe, yes, she says, who is the media campaign strategist? I am in the media sector. We have some ads to run and shoot for PO in person for this campaign. Who can we reach to get this done? And we want to get this done from next week.
It would be nice for them to talk to this is for the campaign office. However, like today, I worked in the campaign office fully. We will soon be running it professionally, and all these things. That's why I'm beginning now to talk to people. We will eventually,
So we can still hear you, sir. We can still hear you.
I think I'm having problem with my battery now. I probably have to put my this on the charger. Don't want to work. My charger is so not far from here, But be rest assured that we're going to deal with that issue and deal with it very quickly. These are some of it. That's why our meetings now will help us to resolve a lot of issues.
All right. Okay, so I have another question, and this says, hold on. Okay, wow. Okay, I think the question just drowned.
So I think, what we're going to do, we would extract all the questions and put them in a readable format for His Excellency to digest. So those in
not
this...
just for me, the party, those involved in the campaign office and everybody will read it, everybody will see it, so that there's questions for all of us that need to come together and answer.
Okay, so we will be preparing that as a document so that, actionable document. Now, that is the much we can take. But before we wrap up tonight, there has been one reoccurring question on the online section. People have been asking, they say, His Excellency, and I take this question, how can they donate? How can people donate to ensure that come 2023, no one will tell them stories that the reason why you were not elected is because there were not enough funds. Now, people are demanding that if possible here and now today, you are able to tell them how they can donate and how they can help to ensure that when we aggregate our powers, that we will be able to do the unthinkable. Are you there, His Excellency?
I didn't hear you very well.
Okay. Now, I said, let me take that question again. I said, from the online front, people are asking so many questions actually in one, saying, as it is today, how would they donate to ensure that come 2023, no stories will be told that the reason why you did not, that their aim didn't come to fruition is because of finance. Now they are saying, can you tell them here and now how they can donate to ensure that come 2023, you will be the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria?
We're about trying to set up accounts that people will donate. You know, you cannot tell people that you're going to manage public finances transparently and efficiently without starting managing their own resources that are going to donate to you transparently and efficiently. What we've done now is that we're going to set up accounts, maybe 2, maybe 3, managed professionally by independent people that have no relationship with me. You will soon see it. There will be 5 new signatories, which are the people that will be respected, people like Pastor Itua, people like Asha, Suf, all these professional people who will say these people are independent of Mr. Peter Obi. And they'll manage the money. We are not going to run over. I don't manage money. That's my style. My style. So when we have this account set up, and we have it managed by people who are decent, respected, everything, I would tweet it and say, donate money here so they can help us to get and fund most of these things people are talking. For now, what I'm doing is trying to do whatever I can to ensure that we move on.
Okay, thank you. That's the much we can take. However, when we started, you made us a promise that at the end, we are going to all agree here how often this meeting should be. Or do you want us to do that offline and eventually inform the public?
Well, like I said, let me start again by most sincerely thanking all of you. It is not about me. It is about our country. It's about you. When I started this journey, my first priority is you. My second priority is you. My third priority is you. The youth, the women, the poor, uncared for Nigerians. How do we turn these people into great assets to our country? Imagine what it would be if we're able to pool in the next 10, 20, 30 years, the 50, 100 million people out of poverty. Imagine what Nigeria will be if today our unemployment is like any other developing nation of the world, where unemployment is under 10%. Imagine what it will be if we're able to produce and export more, control our fiscal rascality, and ensure that we start moving back to the great days when we can say today that our currency is about 500 to 1 and getting better. Imagine what it will be. I believe other countries have done it, and we can do it. So this is time for us to decide. Again, for me, it is important we meet as often as we can. In the month of, for the month of November, I think we should meet every fortnight. Let's do 2 weeks. For now, today is the 3rd, so let our next meeting be in the next 14 days. So we're going to meet 3 times this month. You know, that's where I say it. 2 weeks.
Thank you very, very, very much. That must excite the whole of the obedient globally, that they will be having an interaction with their principal every fortnight. Nigerians, obedient, you've heard that. And I must yield at this point in time to the younger generations. And on that note, I call on Wayemi, who represent the youths of this nation, and to say the closing remark for this meeting tonight.
Can somebody say closing prayers, because we didn't say opening prayers?
Yeah, after that,
So we need to do
So after that, prayers. I would want to have a Muslim.
One Christian, one Muslim prayer.
Exactly. So after that, I would want to have a Muslim and a Christian pray for us, so that we'll wrap this meeting.
And possibly our national anthem. Let one of you should be able to sing it. It's our nation.
Okay.
We have no other one except this one. We have to start being proud of it.
You know what we can do actually? Do we have someone who has a very tantalizing voice to sing for us once the prayers are done? You know, everyone, you can lower your hands now, because we can no longer take questions. But Wayemi, if you're there, please.
All right. Can we please just comment Christian, Muslim, so I know who is Christian and who is Muslim? Please just comment, and then we'll pick at random. That being said, let me quickly make the closing remarks. First of all, I want to thank His Excellency for taking out the time to have this family meeting with us. As I always say, we are not strangers to each other. We are families. We are all brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, aunties, and uncles. So thank you, His Excellency, for having this family meeting with us. And to everyone who was able to attend this meeting, I say a big thank you. Thank you for taking out time. To those who asked questions, thank you. To those who couldn't, who just decided to listen and take note, I say a big thank you. We will do this again in 2 weeks from now. We'll have another one. And please don't forget to get your PVCs. Your PVCs are very, very, very important. Tell someone to please go and get their PVCs. That being said, I'm going to go look for a Christian and a Muslim. So for Christian, I'm going to go with Julius Oshawo, in bracket MC Brain. Julius Oshawo. Please, Julius, can you unmute? Let me see if I can look for you so I can unmute you. But if you can unmute yourself. Yes.
I'm speaking already. Thank you very much for the privilege. His Excellency, good evening, sir. I think all the obedient youth now will be very, very happy, and there will kind of be a stir in the air all over Nigeria. Thank you very much for the opportunity once again to pray. In the mighty name of Jesus,
Amen.
Father, thank you for this privilege. I think this is the first time such initiative and the first time such a thing is happening in our culture, in our dear country. Being at home in my room and speaking with our incoming president. God, we want to appreciate you for this privilege. I think this is the best generation ever you've emerged. And as we move forward into the campaigns, God, give all the strength, grace to overcome all the temptations. We know there are a lot of things going on spiritually, physically, financially, and otherwise. Father, you are our strength. Help us, guide us, and protect every one of us, and most especially our principal that is going into canoe entry water anyhow. Protect him and guide them. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Thank you very much for the privilege. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you very much. And for our Muslim prayer, we're going to take Engineer Faisal Umaru. Please, while I look for you, let me search for you. If I can find you first, please unmute your mic. I'm trying to look for you so that I can do that.
Umaru, right?
Yes, Engineer Faisal Umaru.
No, can't find him. We have another northern.
Yeah, wait, here. I think, okay, hold on. I think, let me do this. I think his username.
We have another person, Pio's houseboy, house guy.
Okay, I found him. Yes. Pio's house guy. Okay.
Okay, good evening. Can you all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I found you.
Okay, good evening, everyone. To my president, we can't thank you enough. The energy and the unmatched energy, sir, you are just, amazing. So I would like to just, keep it short and simple. I'm here for prayers. I'm Faisal Umar, the national convener for Peter Obi House Campaign Organization, a campaign organization in the core northern state of Katsina State here in Nigeria. And I'm popularly known as Peter Obi Hausa Guy on Twitter, so you can always check me out there. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Malik Yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم وصراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Amen. Ya Allah, we come to you and we are asking for your guidance, your protection, and your blessings. Guide this your servant that is trying to salvage Nigeria from the condition we found ourselves in. Give him the strength, the courage, and the wisdom to take us to the promised land. Ya Allah, we humbly ask you for your protection as we march into everywhere we want to take our footsteps, to take the gospel of this man. We thank you for protecting us, for guiding us, and giving us the wisdom to differentiate between right and wrong, to differentiate between the rotten ones and the good products. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and I thank you so much for this opportunity, and I wish us all the best come February 2023. Thank you, everyone, and God bless you.
Now, thank you. And as was requested, everybody will be allowed to unmute now. We're going to do something that is very unusual, that we'll never do. Without being aided, we all are going to sing the national anthem, because it is believed that all of us should know that. So on my prompt, you can unmute yourself. You've been given the access to.
Maybe I can sing it. Let me do it.
And everybody is so
oh my God.
Have you
See that some of us, our connection.
Okay, now.
People are still singing. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. To His Excellency.
Thank you.
Thank you, our brothers and sisters who
Rise up,
African traditional religion.
Nigerians call.
God of free.